what does it happen if lots of people ask you what time is it at the same time? You are not going to be able to respond to all of them. In computer networks, this is called a denial of service attack, called DOS. Those attacks prevent users from accessing a service, thus leaving the servers unavailable. They can directly affect the host that provides the service or the network itself. Flooding is a common DOS attack, which is based on sending multiple HTTP requests to a web server trying to saturate it. Each web server responds to a certain amount of requests, but when more requests than the expected ones are sent, the server is unable to handle them. A bottleneck occurs and the server becomes unavailable. Another well-known DOS attacks are the distributed ones. They are referred to as distributed DOS or DDoS for short. The attack is the same, but in this case, there are different sources and the attack is much more powerful. It is usually performed by bots. That is, attackers infect lots of computers without users' knowledge, and these infected computers are called bots. Then, a controller orders bots to attack all at once. Many DDoS attacks are not intentional, but caused by human errors. For instance, those attacks can occur due to a lot of clients accessing to the same servers at the same time, being the service developer and aware of the success of the service. Those attacks are extremely common, and there are multiple examples. For instance, in January 2016, the mobile application and the web page of bank HSBC, the world's third largest bank, suffered a DOS attack which caused that thousands of clients were not able to access digital services for several hours. There are different types of DOS attacks. Smurfing was a successful flooding DOS attack in the past. It consisted of sending huge amount of ping messages to the broadcast direction of the networks, specifying the same source address, the victim address, in all of them, and then hosts in the network will provide the answer to the same host, thus flooding it. Just to recall, ping messages are sent to a host to determine if it is up and running and it is reachable. Smurfing attacks does not work currently because from 1999 on, ping packets cannot be sent to the broadcast direction. Other type of DOS attack is called slow lorries. It consists of establishing multiple connections to a server and remain then opened as much as possible. As such, the server keeps waiting to establish a connection while server resources are wasted. Some possible prevention measures correspond to the proper configuration of a firewall to limit the number of connections to the server, or the use of load balancers that do not accept partial HTTP connections, but just full ones. How can those attacks be identified? They can be detected when there are a lot of computational resources in use, which is translated to a slow network performance, inability to access a particular service or website, many spam messages received in your email box, etc. In sum, when you identify that something works more slowly than on average, then a DOS attack may be occurring. To fight against these kind of attacks, there are three main advices. First, install an antivirus. Second, do a proper firewall configuration. And third, be cautious and sensible. Your computer can become a bot in many ways, but sometimes it occurs because we install an intentionally malicious application by, for instance, opening emails when the sender is unknown.